Welcome everyone. We're going to review the new outdoor program content that was released in July of 2017. And we're going to take a look today at the new outdoor badges as well as the outdoor journey. So the original presentation that I'm giving today was given by Liz Williams, and she is responsible for the outdoor initiative at Girl Scouts of the USA. The goals for our agenda today are to learn and understand the goals of the outdoor initiative, to provide a brief overview of the 5 outcomes that GSUSA is focusing on, as well as the content pillars, to take a deep dive into the new outdoor badges and journeys, to see where these tools are located on the Volunteer Toolkit, or the VTK, and to review the partners and collaborators that GSUSA works with to develop the program. So just as a reminder, GSUSA has developed 4 content pillars where they're focusing their content development over the next few years. And they're currently focusing on STEM and the outdoors. But you'll see they also have life skills and entrepreneurship. And all of these involve take action projects, and all of these 4 content pillars make up the full Girl Scout leadership experience. And you'll see to the left, they've identified 5 program outcomes that have been elevated out of the original 15 program outcomes: sense of self, positive values, challenge seeking, healthy relationships, and community problem solving. Specifically, the goals of the outdoor initiative from GSUSA's standpoint is to get more girls outside more often, to increase girls' interest and confidence in the outdoors, to increase girls' interest and readiness for the environmental stewardship, and to support Girl Scout councils in implementing programs, building local partnerships, and creating and supporting national partnerships to support volunteer efforts. The outdoor programs are grounded in what we call progression. So girls are able to gain skills that they need to become competent in the outdoors, including how to plan and organize outdoor activities. Girls can gain mastery of outdoor skills and are challenged to take the next step up and outdoors. Girls first begin by looking outside and reflecting on where they've been outside. And then they begin to step out, move out, and explore out through hikes and day trips. When cooking out, girls begin to plan and cook simple meals, and these build a strong foundation for sleeping out, camping out, and adventuring out. You'll see that all of these areas of progression are grounded in the principles of leave no trace. Before we dive into the specifics of the badges and journeys, I want to acknowledge that there are program partners that helped develop this material. The outdoor badges and journeys were developed in partnership with the American Camping Association, the National Park Service, the American Red Cross, Leave No Trace Center for Outdoor Ethics, and the Children and Nature Network. So let's take a quick look at the outdoor content. This is a big overview. Outdoor journeys and badges focus on 3 areas: outdoor skills, outdoor adventure, and environmental action. It's also important to make a note that the format for the journey is new, for the outdoor journey, and it's also a little bit different than the STEM journey format. Just remember that no matter what the format is, at the core of every journey, girls are learning new skills and developing a take action project to act on their new knowledge. So the outdoor journey format is comprised of badges to build outdoor skills in a take action project. The idea is that the badges are done in rapid succession, so the girls are learning and taking a deep dive into outdoor education and then creating a take action project based on that. The new Troop Camping badge serves as the anchor for the outdoor journey. And this is the 3rd set of badges that was developed as part of the Girl Choice experience. So the first, you might remember, is the outdoor art exploration. We had an outdoor recreation series of badges, and now we have the Troop Camping badges. So you'll see on the right side the new badges that were released in the summer of 2017. And Daisies didn't originally have an outdoor art exploration badge, so that new outdoor art master badge was created for Daisies, as well as Troop Camping badges then for every age level. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the new Girls' Choice Troop Camping badges. So taking a look, this is the Daisy Buddy Camper badge. The first thing they'll do is help plan a camping trip. So they'll learn about caper charts or building a simple meal. Then they're going to pack for their trip. So they'll pack a bag and asking a family member to make a list of clothes that they would take along with them. And they'll get help from camping experts or an older Girl Scout. They might ask questions like, where do I sleep at a campsite? How do I carry water? What will I need to wear on a cold day or a hot day? How do we make meals? And then step 3, they'll actually go camping. And so what their campsite might be a backyard, or it might be in a cabin. And while they're on their camping trip, they're going to learn a new skill like tying a square knot, or they might take a hike on the trail. So let's take a look with this Daisy Buddy Camper badge, what that looks like in the VTK plan. And this is the only badge I'm going to do that with today. So the Daisy Buddy Badge camper requirements for meeting 1, as they arrive, the girls will begin to decorate a caper chart. And for those of you that aren't familiar with a caper chart, that's like the camp chore chart. So you put the activities that need to be done to make your campsite work, and the girls take turns doing different activities. For example, helping to clean up after dinner, or maybe cleaning up trash around the campsite, or helping to pack something specific. The opening ceremony, after the flag, the girls start talking about camp safety with one of the meeting aides. And then they'll start to think about their camping gear and what they might pack. They'll take a snack break and make a camp snack. And then they'll act out different areas of camp safety. Let's move on to the Brownie Cabin Camper. There's nothing quite like camping. It's a chance to spend time in nature and have fun with your friends and family. Every camping trip is a new adventure, so girls will get ready to plan a camping adventure with their Girl Scout friends or their family members. And so you'll see in step 1, they're going to help plan a camping trip. And that means they might talk to someone who has experience with cabin camping, visit a camping goods store, or go online to find a camping area that they'd like to visit. In step 2, they'll learn about camping gear, which they'll practice packing and carrying their gear at home. They'll compare and share to see what everyone needs and see what they can bring together as a group so that we don't all take the same things to camp. And they'll hold a gear tryout where they'll practice rolling their sleeping bags and setting up their tents. In step 3, they'll prepare a camp meal. Their choices include making a no-cook meal, making a stew from canned foods, or making a meal that includes one food that they've never tried before. They'll learn a new camping skill, like practicing a fire drill, or fire building, or learning how to tie a clove-hitch knot. And then finally, they'll go camping. And while they're at camp, they'll play a camp game with their group, they'll take a hike, or they'll hold a Girl Scout bridging activity. And you'll see at the bottom, there are 2 meetings for Brownies to earn their cabin camper badge. Meeting 1 can be held in a meeting room or outdoors, but meeting 2 is really designed to be held at the campsite location where the girls are camping. Junior Eco Camper. Here's the description. Whenever you step outdoors, you're a guest in nature's home. And this is especially true when it comes to camping. Whether or not you've been camping before, you will earn this badge by learning how to protect the environment on your trip. It will shape the way that you camp forever. So in the first step, they're going to begin to learn the Leave No Trace 7 principles. And they can do that by making a presentation for their troop or interview an experienced camper or park ranger. Or they can also teach younger girls, Daisies and Brownies, about the Leave No Trace 7 principles. They can plan meals with the environment in mind for step 2. They'll prepare and package snacks for their conservation hike, like making their own trail mix or gorp. And they can make a solar box cooker using a pizza box, so they'll practice cooking things using the sun. They'll practice making a no-trash camp meal for their troops before they go on a trip. For step 3, the girls will prepare a minimal impact campsite. So they'll set up a campsite kitchen and a wash area, or they can learn how to set up a sleeping area, or they'll set up a campfire area. And step 4, having fun with Leave No Trace, they'll play a game, they'll perform a skit, or they'll learn how to secure a dunk line at their campsite. And step number 5, they'll take a conservation hike where they'll spot a natural habitat, they'll record wildlife, or they'll come up with a conservation plan. I'm going to take a break here just to talk a little bit about the multi-level outdoor journeys. So the other journeys that we have are offering K-5 multi-level troops. And typically those have been targeted at the Brownie age level with tips on how to age the activity up or make it more simple for the daisies. So the multi-level information is available in the meeting aid section of the VTK, and there's more development coming on the Brownie Journey guidelines for working with other grade levels within the troop. So stay tuned for more information there. The Cadette Primitive Camping Badge. Primitive camping can be a challenge even for experienced campers. And so girls are challenged to step up their outdoor skills, get out into nature, and make extra special memories on a primitive camping trip. And so their first step, they're going to plan a primitive camping trip. And primitive is a backcountry camping, and it's definitely several steps up from cabin and full-service campground camping. So it means heading a little further out into nature and roughing it, going without electricity, running water, and maybe even cell service. So these kind of trips may be challenging, but they can lead to memories that will definitely last a lifetime for the girls. So the first step is to talk to a primitive camping expert, to visit a sporting goods store or outdoor retail store, or talk to a ranger about primitive camping and what they might need for that trip. In step 2, they'll prepare their gear. So they'll work together to pool their gear to see what they have and how they can use it, and they'll make a packing list. They'll also practicing layering, or they might weatherproof their gear if that's needed for the trip. In step 3, they're going to make a camp meal. And definitely one of the best parts of camping is cooking and eating, but they'll need to put their heads together for their primitive camping trip. So they'll learn how to make dehydrated food, or prepare a dish from a nomadic tribe, or practice making 2 simple camp meals using a portable camp stove. And step number 4, they'll learn a new primitive camping skill while they're out on their trip. So for example, they might use a handsaw or hatchet, they might hold a water purification contest, or they might practice their knot tying. And in step 5, they've planned, they've packed, and they're going to sharpen their skills now. So some of the requirements for this might be to complete a wilderness first aid course, to play a Leave No Trace quiz game, or to learn a survival camping technique and practice it on their trip. So you can definitely see how these badges are progressing upon one another. The degree of difficulty and the skill required gets more challenging as the girls get older. So for the adventure camper, girls might begin to plan an adventure like kayaking, mountain biking, canoeing, or rock climbing, and they'll combine that with overnight camping to make the most of their outdoor experience. Adventure camping requires minimal equipment and gear because they're active during the day and moving campsites. Some adventure campers bring nothing but a sleeping bag, a lightweight stove, some food, and a backpack. So whatever spells adventure to the girl, they'll start by listing things that they want to do, and then they'll make their camping trip happen. So in step 1, again, they're going to plan their camping trip. And so they'll have to interview an adventure camping expert, visit a sporting goods store, or talk to a park ranger, similar to that primitive camping badge. And then they're going to start to gather their gear. They might have to exercise before they begin to go, or compare, share, repair with their campmates and troop to pool their gear, or they might plan their gear for a side trip. In step number 3, they're going to plan and prepare their camp trip meals, and they're going to either choose from making a meal using a stove designed for backpacking, prepare adventure day trip menu, or they'll make a buddy burner and a vagabond stove and cook something on it. In step number 4, they're going to use a camping skill on their trip. So they're going to focus on some classic camping skills that they'll be able to use for a lifetime. So they'll either learn 3 essential knots, they'll either become weather experts, or they'll hike a route using a topographical map and compass. And on step number 5, they're going to go adventure camping. And so they'll find a campsite, maybe in the backcountry or at another camping spot, and they'll keep a journal of their trip. They'll teach Leave No Trace at camp, and they'll explore a native feature near the campsite and write a poem or song or story about it. So it's really about sharing their experience with others. Okay, and then the last is the Ambassador Survival Camper. If you've ever imagined going off the grid and going back to the land, this is your chance. Survival camping is the ultimate camping adventure. Are you ready to test your skills with limited supplies and have an unforgettable experience with your camping crew? Then let's go. So again, step 1 is to plan a survival camping trip. They'll talk to a survival camping expert, they'll visit a sporting goods store or retail store, or they'll talk to a ranger. In step number 2, they're going to gather their gear. So even if they're an experienced camper, this badge is their chance to take their skills to the next level. Surviving camping comes with its own unique challenges and requires extra special attention to their supplies. So they just talked to an expert, and now they have to make a packing list and choose which one makes sense to them. So they'll either need to work on building their stamina for their trip, they'll need to compare, share, and repair their gear with their camping crew, and they might need to plan gear for their side hikes. In step 3, they'll plan and prepare their trip meals. So they're going to research and talk to an expert about survival nourishment, or they might challenge their camp cooking skills by creating a menu that uses 3 different types of cooking methods, or they might make and use a boxed oven. In step number 4, they'll learn a survival camp skill. And so they might practice starting a campfire with only a jackknife steel flint or a mirror. They might find a way using landmarks and the sun, or they might continue to work on their knot tying skills. And finally, when they go camping, they'll keep a journal of their trip, learn about trail signs and cairns and other in their use, or they'll plan a survival challenge game for their campmates. So that's an overview of the troop camping badges. And I wanted to go into that in a little bit more detail than we have for some of the other badges because it's really the anchor of the outdoor journey. And so that's just something to keep in mind. I think that it really is a focus on a lot of the traditional camping skills that people really feel are important for girls. And I do like the way that it progresses upon each other. So it starts out with something that's really accessible and fairly simple for daisies, but then as we get to the ambassador level, girls are really challenged to put their new skills to the test. Okay, so let's talk a little bit specifically about the journey. Again, it's a bit of a different format, but at the core of the journey, we're learning new content and doing a take action project. And the outdoor journey is specifically built on badges with the troop camping badge as that anchor or that core. So daisies will first earn the new outdoor art maker badge, and then they'll work on the buddy camper badge. And once those badges are earned, girls will create a plan and implement a take action project on an issue that they're concerned about. So the girls are going to learn skills that are important to help them plan a camping trip, and then they'll be able to share that information with others. It's important to note again that the meetings for the daisies to earn their buddy camping badge, meeting 1 can be held at a meeting room, and meeting 2 is designed to be held in a backyard or a campsite location where girls are camping. Brownies will earn 3 badges in a progressive manner, starting with the first aid badge, where they'll learn basic first aid skills. They'll move on to the hiker, which is developing skills in knowing what to take on a hike. And then they'll earn that cabin camper badge while learning a new knot or 2, what gear they'll need, and an opportunity to taste and test some new camp food. During their camping adventures, girls will observe environmental issues around them and what concerns them, and then they'll create and plan a successful take action project of their choosing. It's important to note here too that if the girls have already completed one of these badges, like they may have already done the first aid badge or the hiker badge, then they should still plan to do them in that order, but the leader might want to take some time to go back and just review the content or try some of the different steps so that the girls get a refresher on that content. For the juniors, juniors will learn about animal habitats and how to protect and preserve where animals live. Skills girls learn while earning the camper badge include how to know what to take camping, fun food to eat on camping trips, and the perfect place to pitch your tent. And while earning the eco camping badge, girls will focus on practicing the 7 principles of leave no trace and become strong stewards of the land. Juniors will earn their take action badge by creating a sustainable project that solves a need or an issue near to them. Cadets. So cadets will learn more challenging skills, and their outdoor journey starts with the trees badge, where they'll learn about ecosystems and forest stewardship. And then they'll develop their trailblazing skills, challenging themselves in an outdoor setting. And the primitive camper badge will further develop the skills along with a few new skills that they will need for backcountry setting with few amenities. And so girls will create their own take action project designed to solve an environmental concern in their community. And again, if they've already earned the badge, we can simply take time to review some of the content that the girls learn so that they can be refreshed on that content. Okay, senior Girl Scouts earn the First Aid and Sky badges as they prepare for their Adventure Camper badge and plenty of outdoor fun. First aid skills are learned and practiced, and then girls learn about the sky above them, the clouds, air pollution, and flight. As girls plan their overnight camping trip, they can decide if they want to paddle, climb, or walk their way to adventure. Take action projects for seniors are sustainable and address an environmental concern or issue, and they encourage girls to work with their local city, state, or even national park to find a project that drives their outdoor passion. Outdoor art, water, and survival are the components for the outdoor journey for Ambassador Girl Scouts. Ambassadors explore art, installations, create their own outdoor art, and share with others. Girls then spend time investigating how they can become advocates for water conservation and investigating water pollution. Girls will learn challenging survival skills as they earn their survival camper badge and have the opportunity to practice survival techniques on their camping trips. Take Action Project will focus on a topic that most concerns an Ambassador Girl Scout and is sustainable and actionable. Ambassadors review what they learned about the outdoors and how they might make a difference, and then they'll come up with an idea for a Take Action project. Okay, so let's take a quick look now at the volunteer toolkit. And similar to the other journeys that we looked at earlier, are STEM journeys. The meeting overview includes facilitation tips, the prepare ahead checklist, and then activity plans and materials. There are also step-by-step instructions, including talking points for people. The Take Action Guide is really a great resource. It talks about the difference between what a community service project is and a Take Action Guide. There are also material lists and handouts that are able to be used for those meetings. And then just one final note, as we've been talking about these new journeys and these new badges, we want to keep reminding people that everyone is a beginner at something and everyone is an expert at something. And so while for some people it might be easy to build a robot, for other people it's easy to build a fire. And we need to work together and pool our resources so that we can ultimately give girls a great experience. So make sure that you're working together with your neighbors and in your community to find people who are experts and comfortable at leading these programs with girls, especially if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. So we look forward to hearing more about how people are using the new badges and the journeys. So at this time, I will stop the recording and see if anyone has any specific questions.